everyone, hey and welcome back to yet another episode of Battle Rap Resume. This is your host, Tom Quee. Thank you so much for joining me. Please follow us on Twitter. We've got the email, battleresume@gmail.com. Of course, we have the Patreon as well. If you want to support the show, you want to give back, you want to help to pay for train tickets and Battle Rap Resume stickers and whatever else I spend the money on, you can help support us there on the Patreon. Get access to episodes way before they come out. For instance, the Union episode that came out, it's quite a while ago now. That was on there like a month before and stuff, and all the previews and stuff like that. Go on iTunes as well. If you can leave us a review on iTunes, it's greatly appreciated. It helps us to move up the charts, get a bit more recognition. Please subscribe, please comment. We've got the Redbubble shop, we've got all that stuff. But today's guest, someone I've been meaning to get on for a long time, a real architect of a golden era of battle rap in the UK. BOWSKI, how's it going, man?
Yeah, safe, Tom. Good, man. How are you? You all right?
I'm well. And is it right? I read this in a comment the other day, and I'm not sure if it's true or not. The name BOWSKI, does that come from the Big Lebowski, or?
Well, it's a bit of both, actually. That's the cool version of my name. But there's another version as well, right? But basically, around the same time as that, about 99, I'd say, there was a wrestler called the Big BOWSKI. Val Venus, and his gimmick was that he had like a big dick. He was like a porn star,
right?
And he used to come out and go, "Man, I'm the Big Val BOWSKI." So I started calling myself the Big Matt BOWSKI as a bit of a joke to that, but also because the Big Lebowski is also one of my favorite films. So it's like a bit of both, but really it was more to do with the rest of that say than. But now I just say, oh yeah, it's the Big Lebowski, my favorite film, because I'm not going to go on about a wrestler who thought he was a porn star. But yeah, now I'll be honest with you, Tom. Val Venus was probably the main reason, but yeah, the Big Lebowski as well. That's the cool version.
All right. Well, that's the sort of gems that we're going to be dropping throughout this, So
that's an exclusive, that, bro.
And I mean, I always ask this, but it's always interesting. Where does it start battle rap for you? Have you been watching it long before you got involved, or?
Right, with battle rap, yeah, I'm similar to other people. I watched a bit of battle rap before Don't Flop, so I remember Stig. And I think was Archaic in those old battles?
Yeah, he was in the 06 tryouts.
I'm sure he did some. Mm-hmm. And I remember Iron Solomon and Mike Assassin, and just a little bit. I didn't watch loads of it, but I remember some of that. And then I got a bit late to Don't Flop. I think around 2009, end of 2009, 10. My mate Pro P was DJing a few events down in London. I don't know if you've heard of Pro P. He's a good producer.
Yeah. You spit on one of his beats on Fire in the Booth, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Oh, man, good stuff, Tom. Yeah, that's the second beat. Yeah. Well, he's one of my best mates, and he's he's a good DJ producer. So he started DJing, and he sort of said to me, "Oh, have you seen this Don't Flop?" So I watched a bit of it, and I remember thinking, these guys, because I thought it was freestyle, like I think a lot of people did. So I remember thinking, wow, these guys are amazing, man. I couldn't do. I mean, I thought I was a good freestyler, but I was like, whoa, these guys are sick. Like, so I started watching Oshea and a few of the other guys, and I just thought, well, I could never do that because I can't freestyle nowhere near that good. But then I started going to a couple of the events, and I realised that obviously it was written. So then that's when I sort of thought, well, maybe I could have a little go then, So to be honest, to start with, I went to a couple of events in 2010 in Manchester. Right. Chronicles events. So can't remember what they were before To The Test, but it might have been the first To The Test, to be fair. Right. And I did a couple of freestyle, like freestyle on beat competitions. Did all right, and then it was Chronicle who got me my first battle. Early 2011.
Against Frisko.
Battling me, Frisko, you must be mistaken. You're a fucking bummer. Had your anal virginity taken. At the drum and bass gig, him and Eddie P had some dids, reminiscing like we've been mates since we were kids. Next thing you know, they were sucking each other's dicks. I proper love you, mate. This little turtle's head can't beat me. It's the epitome of a gimp, legitimately a wimp. Blink and you miss his dick, his fucking ass stinks. Jesus Christ, have a bath, lad. Borat's brother, Bruno's bum lover. One hell of a ugly fucker. Facebook pictures looking like sloth bummed his mother. Hey guys!
Really good battle, actually. I remember watching this when I first got into Don't Flop, and like a lot of people saw Eddie P and Frisko versus Lunacy and Matter, and sort of sought out other battles of those ilk and watched this because of Frisko. And in the start of this battle, they make reference to Frisko being on BBC Three. What was that about?
Yeah, Eddie and Frisko were on BBC Three. Some program to sort of outline the effects of drinking. So there was this thing, and Eddie and Frisko have told me that they never even really did this, but apparently Eddie and Frisko used to do shots of vodka in their eye. Right. In their eyeball. So it was the woman off, it was the girl off In Between as the fit bird in Between is the one with the blonde hair. She was at the event as well. Yeah. She was the one sort of helming the documentary. and she went round to see Eddie P, and Eddie P was like, yeah, I do vodka shots in my eyeball and all that. So they took him to the doctors and all that, and the doctor told, because Lunacy mentions it, doesn't he, in the battle as well.
Yeah.
So that was bad for your eyes. You look surprised and all that. So yeah, it was pretty funny. And then she ended up coming with the camera crew to the Oshea and Innuendo battle as well. Yeah. So that was what that was about. But Eddie's told me he never actually did shots in the eyeball. Yeah. It was just a bit of a blag to get on telly, I think.
Yeah, I think
even he's not that crazy.
No, I think Matt or Luna says like using a contact lens as a shot glass or something in one of their bars as well. So yeah, they do make reference to that. And I mean, Don't Flop back then, like it just has a bit more of an edge to it. Like watching these, do you remember just even the little things like having the beat at the start, showing the sponsors? It's just a bit more exciting, wasn't it?
Yeah, you know what? It reminds your beat at the beginning of Battle Rap Resume, which is a perfect beat for it. It reminds me of one of the old Don't Flop beats.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
That come on at the beginning, you know, like a cool sort of kind of boom bappy hip hoppy beat sort of thing, and then you'd have the little like sponsors like Sika Studios and all that popping up and that. Yeah, it was a bit more. It was more hip hop and a bit more sort of like you say, edgy. Definitely back in the day.
And I was watching a bit of your Clash of the Day interview, and you were saying that you and Frisko are housemates. I don't know if you are still, but you were saying at the time, like what was your relationship here? Did you know him well, or?
No, I never met. I met him once before we battled at a party before he battled Oshea, and I remember saying to him, "Oshea's going to body you, lad." Right. Like thinking Oshei'd kill him, but obviously they did it in the end because Oshea and Innuendo weren't really great. But yeah, I met him once at a party just before he battled Oshea. And then I met him another time when he battled Oshea. Obviously, I was at that event. But apart from that, no, I didn't really know him. So we battled, and then he's just in the Manchester scene, and obviously I'm in the Manchester scene, and then just sort of started seeing each other about it, events and nights and stuff, and then just became really good mates. He's like one of my best mates now, and that's the thing about battle rap. I think it has sort of created a lot of sort of best mates and good friends over the years. That's one good thing about it. Yeah, it has sort of made people meet friends from all over the country and ended up being best mates with some of them, like Pamphlet and a few others have ended up being really good mates. So that's one good thing about the battle rap community, I would say. No, for sure.
And I mean, one of the things about your battling that I'm sure a lot of people agree with, you are really naturally funny when you watch you perform, and it is quite infectious. And it's not, there's not complex schemes or anything like that. It's just not to insult you, you know what I mean, but just sort of the way you do it is really effective. Even when in your first view, like epitome of a gimp, his arse stinks, and you're like, Jesus Christ, have a bath, lad. And just like the way you say that, it's always stuck with me. Like,
those were my rawest battles. The first few when I just came in and I just went in with like mum jokes and gay jokes and smelly jokes and stuff. That was just sort of like me, just jumping in head first, really, and just being myself completely. And then that's before I started reading all the comments and sort of getting involved. And then obviously you try and get better and you try and bring multis and schemes to it if you can, which I have tried doing over the years. But yeah, the initial battles were just, your mum's a slag straight away, and just those sort of things. But obviously trying to make it funny and not just sort of saying it, you know what I mean? You've got to try and put a spin on it to entertain. And I think I did that, especially in the earlier battles. Those are my favourite ones before I knew anything about the scene, really. And I just went in and just did me and tried to be as funny as possible. And yeah, it worked definitely early in my, when I first started battling, definitely,
I mean, like there was a lot of like, mum jokes, your pussy stinks already and don't flop, but it was quite, it was quite fresh, even though you were still kind of playing on that same concept. And like, I love when it's just some of the stuff you say, like, like spasticated bastard with a Down syndrome head.
Spasticated bastard with a Down syndrome. That was Frisko again, wasn't it? Some of the stuff I said in there, what was it? God, what did I say now about his mum? Oh. Probably many things.
You talk about
I bummed your mum, you're made of my cum.
Yes.
But I got out there quick because she was a shit shag, son. You know what I mean? You get slated for that sort of stuff, but at the time, man, I thought it was funny, you know what I
mean? No, for sure. And Blizzard's in the background, and his Manny Shotty's there too.
Shotty's there,
And Frisko's great. I mean, Frisko does really well here. Your lifelong dreams to get a job in a sweet factory. Anyone remember
don't get bitter dread. Just keep thinking about that dynamite inside that bitter bread.
Yeah. That is a closer and a half. That is such a good line. Really, really good. And like Frisko just kind of, I don't know, there's something about his style where he crams a lot of like quite relevant rhymes into it, and it's quite interesting. You know what I mean? Like he just does it well.
He's sick, Frisko. I think he got. I've said it. I say it to him all the time, so I don't care what he thinks about me saying it. But he did seem to sort of fall off battling wise. I think against me, he was probably at his peak.
Yeah.
Against me and Luna, and against Oshea and Innuendo, I thought he was amazing. Like, do you know what I mean? Especially against me, I thought, whoa, this guy's fucking sick. You know what I mean? He definitely won our battle, and he was great. And then he beat a guy called Mackenzie. He had an all right battle with Pamphlet, but then he seemed to sort of fall off a little bit with battling. But maybe it moved on a bit as well. But he makes music. His music, every track he does, I think, is sick. Anyway, he's definitely doing what he's best at now.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think those early battles, again, when I was getting into him, I was like, oh my God, this guy's so good. And then I watched, say, him versus Els or him versus Pedro, and it just wasn't,
wasn't quite the same.
No. And, I mean, really, obviously really, really good battle. And one of the things about you as well, BOWSKI, you manoeuvred a lot in the ring. There's lots of singing, there's lots of spinning around.
Yeah, the spin was kind of a hallmark of my Joker style. Loves the spin.
Yeah.
I can't. My mate told me I'm not a very good dancer, but my mate told me how to do that spin, and I just enjoy doing that spin. You know what I mean? So if I can fit it into a battle, and I'm feeling good about if the floor's not too sticky, because some of them nightclubs got a bit of a sticky floor, especially up north. You know what I mean? But if I'm feeling the dance floor or not, then you might get a spin out of me if I'm feeling a bit frisky in the battle.
And, honestly, this is a great battle. If people want sort of a 10-minute blast of old Don't Flop nostalgia, funny lines, an eager crowd, they should go back and watch. And you do lose, but I think, it's a really good showing from you.
Yeah, it's like that's what I mean. It's one of them where you lose, but you're not. See, with me, I'm never upset if I lose. If I get all my stuff out and I feel like, well, I did a good job. I did the best of what I had that day. I did it. The only time I get really pissed off is if I have not done 100% and then I lose. That's when you really feel hurt, if you've choked and all that, or if you've had a bad performance. But if you do all 3 rounds and you feel like you did well and you lose, then I can't be any happier with that. Do you know what I mean? For me, it's not all about winning and losing. It's just about me getting through everything cleanly. And for a debut, I was quite proud of it because I didn't really choke. I had one tiny thing where I went, and then I remembered it. I was really happy with the performance, and it's got like 80,000 views, which for that time is quite unreal, really, for a debut as well. I mean, I'd put my debut views up against a lot of people's. You know what I mean? I don't know that many who got 80,000 in the debut battle. So Dialect Double L, Luna, Shotty, but apart from then, not many, I don't think.
No, you're right, actually. And I mean, to compare it now, Shocks versus Soul has just passed 80,000 views as well. Like, that those views don't really exist anymore.
No, I know. Right. It's like if it's not Don't Flop, any other league is like 1,000, 2,000 maximum. It seems. I mean, it seems to have even gone lower than Don't Flop was in 2010, where it was about 3,000-4,000. I think the average in 2010. For a bog standard battle. So it seems to have gone back almost to that, really.
Yeah, and one of the great things is that as Don't Flop were on this elevation in 2011 to 2013, you were right in the centre of it. You were battling all the time. I haven't really seen you versus Foresight. Have you got anything to share on this battle?
I think it was the first time. I don't think I sang against Frisko.
Right.
I don't think I did. Did I?
Right. I don't think so.
It was the first time I sang a Tom Jones, bit of a Tom Jones thing, and I said, it said something like, it's not unusual to get bummed by anyone. It's not unusual for you to swallow cum. Something like that. So that was the first sing song that I did. And that was actually the first spin as well. I think I did a spin while I was singing that. Little shindig. So that's when Joker Star fell in love with the spin that day.
And crazy that your third battle, I mean, we're talking about views, this has got 175,000 views. Versus Oshea.
Oshea is Don't Flop's number 1 pedo, and he chases after kids in the park. He is so gay that he once tried to suck off a shark. Risked his life just to get some action, because when Innuendo bums his ass, he can get no boom 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 satisfaction. Oshea comes from Toxteth Scousland. He's proper ghetto. He might work at Morrison's, but he shops at Netto. Hey ma, these signs are only £1. Fucking hell.
How did you get Oshea on your third battle?
I know, it's crazy. I think basically me and Oshea just took a liking to me because we're both Northerners and both funny. I mean, I'm a lot fatter than him, but he's a bit chubby, and I sort of seeked Oshea out I said suck then, that's a bit pause. I seeked Oshea out to sort of like say hi to him a few times at events because obviously he was my favourite and that. And we just sort of started making mates. And initially it was sort of going to be a 2-on-2 or something. I think Chronicle said, Oshea just wants a bit of a chilled battle at the next event. He's thinking of 2-on-2, like him and Innuendo versus you and Jay Madden, or him and Sprungy versus you and someone, you and Frisko or someone. So I was like, yeah, man, I'll get a partner and battle Oshea, definitely. But then I think I couldn't really I don't think Jay Madden could do it, and I don't think there was anyone else who really fit the bill. So I just inboxed Oshea one night and said, look, Oshea, you know, I can't get a partner, but do you fancy just having like a 60-second little joke battle with me, like? And he just went, yeah, go on then, kid. You know what O'Shea's like, he's not asked. Even back then he was like, you know, whatever. So he's like, yeah, go on then, like, yeah, fuck it, we'll do it. So yeah, I got the battle with Oshea, my third battle. So yeah, I was so hyped, it was unbelievable. I just watched all of O'Shea's battles straight away and just started shitting myself, basically.
Yeah, I mean, back then as well, like Oshea was the main face of Don't Flop to a certain extent because, I mean, this event was where Luna tried out, so he kind of hadn't started. Do you remember watching Luna versus Bloodstroke?
Yeah, I do. I remember thinking he was sick, but if I'm honest, without sounding like a dick, it was me. I thought I was the big star of that day. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
At the time, you didn't really think. You watched Luna. Yeah, he was sick on the day. Don't get me wrong. Everyone was saying, "Oh, this guy's going to be sick. He's well good, man. He's going to go far." But no one was really saying, "Oh, yeah, this guy's going to go and get like 1 million views and all that." Do you know what I mean? They just thought he was good. You know, he was very good. On the day, me and Oshea was like, you know, and there was also Archaic Chronicle as well. So that was another big battle of the day. So those two battles were really like the big battles of the day, and everyone was I felt like I came out, you know, the star of the day really, without being a dick about it. But then obviously when Luna's battle dropped, I think you realised more on cam exactly how good he was, and then obviously the snowball of Luna was just out of this world really. How big he got so fast.
Yeah, and
yeah, go on.
No, he's just I think he was around for about a year as well. Like it was literally just that was it, and then he obviously came back for Oshea, but it was just like he came and went and just amazing.
Yeah, sort of revolutionised battling, I think. Really, I know a lot of it had to do with Mark Griston Blizzard as well. Mark Griston Blizzard. Mark Griston Blizzard. Yeah. Obviously that helped, but it was Luna who really kick-started it. To be honest, it was the hype around Luna. I went to watch him in Leeds when he battled Mickey, and that was a tryout event, and the people were queued up around the corner and they couldn't get into the venue, bro.
Jeez.
Do you know what I mean? It wasn't the biggest of venues. It's probably about 150 or something in there, maybe 200. But yeah, it was full, and the people couldn't get in.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, wow, this shit's going off this, like, you know what I mean? Because it was a tryout event, and then it had one battle, I think, Luna. No, it had Matter and Pamphlet, and Luna and Mickey, and that was it. The rest were tryouts, and like I say, it was like filled to the rafters. So Luna really did change the game, really, in my opinion.
Oh, definitely. And you are great against Oshea as well. You don't seem to let it cower you. He's so gay, he tried to suck off a shark.
Yeah.
You spin in this one, I've noticed as well. So we get the kind of the BOWSKI pirouette there. He works at Morrison, shops at Netto. And you just play to the camera really well. Like you don't seem nervous. Like
I know, yeah. I wish I could sort of recapture that performance element now, because I don't seem to have that now. I just seem to spit my bars and look and concentrate on the opponent. But yeah, against Oshea, I'm saying a bar, then I'm looking in the camera, and then I'm saying another bit, and then looking back in the camera. I think I was just on one that day. I don't know. I had lots of people there with me as well, and I think that does help when you've got a lot of mates. And my ex-bird was there at the time as well, and she had a few of her mates there as well. So there was quite a few people sort of back in my corner, and plus it was in Manny as well. So my sort of adopted home. And that day I was just feeling it, man. As soon as I started getting the first laughs, I was just on it really. And then he wasn't on the top form, but to be fair to it, when you watch it back, his first and second round were awesome still. Do you know what I mean? He still had probably some of the most quotable lines, especially in the second verse. So yeah, but I just kept going, and then I just loved that battle so much. I felt so happy for like 48 hours after that. You know, I had like this feeling of happiness.
I bet
in my gut. You know what I mean? I just felt like amazing, and that was when I truly fell in love with battle rap. Probably was that day.
And you know, what was it like back then? Don't Flop, was it big? Did you? Because obviously this is pre-Luna, as we say. So was there a lot of views, a lot of recognition, or?
Not really. No, like I say, if you got more than 10,000 views, that was a big number. At the time, Oshea was getting views. If you looked at O'Shea's battles, they were all over like 30,000. So Oshea started to get views. I'd say Oshea was like the first one who started to get Don't Flop big. He was the first big star. Do you know what I mean? He was the one getting the views, and he was in the paper and Plan B and all that. So Oshea, so he was getting views, and then really, really, really sick battles were getting views. They had Dirt Bad Dan versus Oshea that had happened back in 2009, hadn't it?
Something like that, pretty early, yeah.
So there was a few big battles. So yeah, it was like the Blood in the Waters were big in London. They were quite big. They were in big venues and that. So yeah, it was starting to get, big, but still very underground hip hop sort of style. But yeah, it was getting there. You know what I mean? Like they had a lot of underground UK hip hop artists at the Blood in the Water. And Tinchy Strider was there and that as well. Hit one of them. So yeah, it was getting there. But then again, a lot of the northern events and that was still quite small. But when I battled Oshea, there was a fair few hundred people there. Yeah.
And 2011, so this is your first year in battling, 8 uploads. And there's going to be more, I think 2013 you had like 14 uploads or something. So, like, you were really busy, but were you just wanting to just sort of dive in head first? Because, like you say, you're falling in love with it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you just wanted to battle all the time. Every event, you'd just be, you'd message her and say, "Oh, is there any chance I can get on, that Leeds event or that Sheffield event, or can I be in the Times Change tournament, or whatever." You just wanted to be. So after O'Shea, I went straight to him. Within about 6 weeks later. Nottingham, new city, and that was another good thing as well. Just travelling out, battled in Nottingham, Brighton, Leeds, then London eventually. So it was just travelling and just meeting new people. I mean, when you're at an event and Don't Flop, you feel like a celebrity. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
You've got random people coming up to you going, "Oh, buzz a few BOWSKI this, did that battle," and it's just really good fun and like. I just loved it. 2011, 12, 13 especially. 13 was my favourite year. So those sort of that 3 or 4 year period, it's up there with the best sort of times in my life, to be honest.
Yeah, of course.
So I don't really. Obviously, I fell out with Don't Flop a little bit, but I never talk down on those times that I had because, like I say, I love those good times I had.
And the next battle then, the Jefferson Price battle. You mentioned the Times Change tournament, which is one of those things that when you look at the people who are on the actual roster, so the 16 MCs, it really gives you a flavour for that era of Don't Flop. So we have yourself, Matter, Chris Lee, Soul, Rogister, Jefferson Price, Seuss, Click, Mickey, Im, TC, Pedro, Pamphlet, Token, Tony D, Mixie. What an era that was!
Yeah, quite a few big names on there, isn't there? You know what I mean?
Still,
Chris Lee's, Tony, everyone, yeah.
Soul was there?
Soul got beat in the first round.
He did.
Against Rogister.
Yeah, he did.
Do you know what I mean? So, just shows what was going on at that time. But it was that Times Change was a great tournament, really. It's probably one of the best tournaments because every round, I think pretty much everybody showed up. And everyone did the best, you know what I mean? And then obviously it had shocks and surprises with Tony going out to him, and then Chris Lee's winning it, and it was a strange tournament, but that was probably that was a big wake up call, that battle for me, because Jefferson, that is the one where I can hold my hands up and say, I got bodied or I got beat 3-0 in that one.
I thought it was kind of cute before when Sue said I weren't worthy to mention. You've got no fucking pubes now. Fuck off back to detention. Jefferson Price is infested with crabs and they don't half itch. So when he talks to women, he gets nervous and starts to twitch. He's a proper gimp. Fuck a box, I'll put him in a ditch. Headbutt him like Happy Gilmore. The price is wrong, bitch. That's wrong, bitch. Yo.
Yeah. I've watched quite a lot of Jefferson throughout the episodes because, inevitably people battle him and stuff, and he's like a big name. He was on form here. He was very good.
Oh yeah, he shocked me a bit. He was very punchline heavy and just very to the point and just sort of put me in my place really. And this is the problem as well with me. I was starting to read all the comments. People say, BOWSKI's fucking shit. He only does single syllable mum jokes. He's whack, blah, blah, blah. So I started reading all these, and it's probably a bad idea really, because then you start thinking, right, I need to step my game up now. I need to try and do something different. And then I started to try and write better schemes and things, and I think it kind of failed me a little bit, and I wasn't as funny and I just wasn't as confident as I had been. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of my stuff kind of fell flat against Jeff. So yeah, it was definitely a learning curve really, and like I say, I hold my hands up with that one. I got beat quite convincingly, man. There was a few lines where Jeff, definitely put me down really, really well. So I mean, I still had a few funny moments. There's a picture going around where Oshea and Chronicle are laughing their head off at something I'm saying. So I know I had a couple of bits, obviously, that were funny, but yeah, Jefferson was on fire that day.
Yeah, he has that bar, doesn't he, in his third, that when I heard it, it's in his third, where when I heard it, I was like, game over, really. BOWSKI, two things you physically can't do.
Yeah, he was the first one to drop the BOWSKI. It's been done a lot since then, but never as good. And whenever anyone else says it, I just think, oh, Jeff Price did it better than you. Because a few people have tried doing BOWSKI as a thing. But yeah, Jeff did it, and that was a killer. That was a killer. and like I say, that was the first time I'd heard it. I'd heard the BOWSKI like separate like that. So yeah, I give Jeff that one, defo.
Yeah. He has lots of good stuff. Your chin has a mantelpiece. Your neck looks like a child's bike tire is lodged in your throat, which is just like visually is quite. I mean, what do you think about the whole Jeff Price situation? It's kind of mad what happened, right?
Yeah, I feel a bit sorry for him. Jeff, because despite what he said, those mean things he said to me, he was quite a nice lad, you know what I mean? And that was just crazy. I mean, in a way, Jeff kind of made his own bed, because you can't really go around sleeping with battle rap chicks if you've got a missus, because it's going to get out, innit? And it did get out, you know what I mean? So he kind of made his own bed in a way, but at the same time, we're all blokes, we all do things. I mean, really, it's kind of grassing, isn't it, in a way? I don't know. Battle rap's weird. Because in real life, if someone went up to Jess Bird and went, your boyfriend's been cheating on you, that'd just be seen as grassing, as violation of the bro code, all that sort of stuff. But in a battle, it's open play, innit? So, Jefferson Price fucked up by A, cheating on his missus, and B, telling people and letting people know.
Yeah, that's right.
When you're a battle rapper, that's... it's a dangerous game you're playing. And then obviously, especially if you've got someone like Caustic, who's known for being a bit personal. But the fact that he just disappeared off the face of the earth and no one ever heard from him again, that's the craziest thing. I mean, he's literally in the sticks forever. You know what I mean? He's buried in the sticks. Yeah,
and it's like he could kind of come back now. Like, it's been long enough. Like, not battling, but just even online. But it's just mad.
I mean, he used to make music and everything. I mean, he was good as well. He had links in America and stuff. I mean, he made good music. He was a good battler. I mean, surely I know Definition's been and seen him in Scarborough, so he is alive.
Right.
We know that much. But it's probably just, I reckon it's probably his missus just banned him from doing anything and maybe he loves her and wants to stay with her or whatever, and he chose her over music and battling. But it's a shame, really, because obviously it was a passion for him at the time.
Yeah.
But only Jeff knows what he's doing and why he's not back. So fair play to him. If he's happy, then fair play.
Yeah. It's just a perfect storm, wasn't it? He could have battled anyone else and it probably would have been fine, but because it was Caustic, it's so unfortunate. But
oh mate, it was ruthless. I mean, I was there and I just felt so sorry for him, man. It was just he did look like he was going to burst into tears. He really did.
Yeah, he did.
It was an epic event, that one. That is probably my favourite event, to be honest. The 4th birthday was just incredible, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much everyone says that on the show, who was there or in the crowd or whatever. And it does seem like it was the greatest Stone Flop event. It was fucking great. And we'll get to that. Obviously, we got your doubles battle to get into as well. Quick battle I want to touch on. Really like this one as well. You versus Most Prob. It's in Brighton, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was outside a pub in Brighton. I think it's called the Lansdowne, maybe. Outdoor event. It was the day Mickey battled TC, and there was some other battles as well.
Yeah, Soul and Yunnan did a doubles match, I think. There.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, against was it Pamphlet and TC? Maybe.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, right. That was another one. That was a great day. That was just again 2011. Don't Flop. Go down to Brighton, meet all Rumcom and all them boys, and met Pete Cashmore that day as well. Right. And just had a great day in the boiling hot sun. It was like 30 degrees or something. It was beautiful. And then, again, another learning curve. I got caught cold against Mosprov because I'd only seen him against Mark Grist.
Yeah.
And then I think he battled Zane, didn't he?
He did. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was a bit shit, really.
Yeah.
He was choking and he wasn't great. So I've gone into that thinking I didn't sleep on him, but again I was trying new things. I thought, right, I'm going to try a bit more writing this time and try and get some multis and try and do this and do that. and I got caught cold again. He was just hilarious. Like, he was just, again, fat jokes, but when they're done well and the funny ones and delivered like they were that day, they're quite difficult to beat. I mean, I can beat fat jokes normally if they're just generic shit fat jokes, but when they're the hilarious ones, they are quite difficult. And that day, Moss Prob again, he was on fire, and again, I wasn't quite at the races, so it was another loss, that one.
Yeah, I remember having Most Prob on, and he was saying there was a bit of a fire in his belly because he hadn't kind of had great performances up until that point, and that is like an early great Most Prob performance.
Yeah, definitely. He sort of announced himself with that battle as in like, "Yo, I'm not going to be shit anymore. This is me. This is what I can do," kind of thing. And yeah, I was lucky. It was lucky that it was me who got the end of it, really.
And next battle's Bloodstro. This is Bloodstro's victorious comeback after the Lunacy battle under. Was this your first battle in London?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. That was the third birthday. The third birthday was just dead, really, because it was a couple of weeks before Blood in the Water 4 or whatever it was. Right. So the birthday event for that year was actually Blood in the Water, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And the third birthday was just a little event in London at Jam, just to signify the birthday. It wasn't really a big event. So yeah, me versus Bloodstro. Now I really tried for Bloodstro because I'd lost two. I'd lost Jeff Price. I lost Moss Prob, and then I battled Ben Carlo, and that was another shit battle where I lost. But I probably should have won, but again, I didn't do very well. So by the time I got to Bloodstro, I was like, right, I need to step my game up now. I've had a few defeats. I need to get back on track, and I can't lose to Bloodstro in it. So I tried really hard for Bloodstro and made sure that I got the 3-0, which obviously wasn't hard, bless him. But yeah. I was not going to lose that one, and I had some funny stuff for Bloodstro, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. And Bloodstro's okay in it. Do you remember that really controversial line he had about Lily Allen's baby?
Yeah, was that against Big J?
Oh, was that against Big J? Was that against you?
Yeah, that was Big J, that one.
Oh, yeah,
He had the controversial line he had about mine was just going on about burning my granddad or something.
Oh, yeah, and the urn and the ashes. Yeah, that was a weird one.
Yeah, it was just like, that was just uncalled for, like, you know what I mean? And nobody really felt it, and then I just said, I think my flip was stop talking about my granddad like that, something like that, just sort of like, just a talking flip rather than a proper flip.
Yeah.
Man, it's like, what are you talking about my granddad like that for, man? That's how I thought.
And in the same way, Jeff had that BOWSKI line. You had the bear friend requests when yours drops, you get defriended. The battle that was a killer line.
Yeah. When my battle drops, I get bear friend requests. When your drops, you get defriended. Yeah, no, I like that one. What else did I add? I said, I said, oh, your mum's funny. It's got fish juice dripping everywhere. It was like the world's deadliest catch. And I'm not being funny, mate, but it was definitely the world's smelliest snatch.
Yeah.
Just things like that, yeah.
I always
That's kind of a multi, you know.
Yeah. I always loved in your third. What have you seen, lad? I've seen your dad bum your brother, your sister suck his cock. I've seen your dog shit on your mother, and you lick it off. It's like these visuals.
Because against Looney was like, you don't know what I've been through. You don't know what I've seen. And I've seen more in the night. And And I was like, I've seen nothing, lad. Yeah.
It's a good battle. It's a good battle, that one, actually. And I think, you do sort of put him in his place, and you pick up the steam. Was it good? What you were aiming for? Because you were battling so much, really. Was it hard to keep the consistency?
Yeah, I think so, definitely, and that's why I kind of fell off a little bit. And my worst performance, like I mentioned, about Ben Carlo before Bloodstro, and that was probably my worst performance. I still probably should have won because he just spat like mixtape verses, but yeah, it was kind of. And then I think I had about a month and a half before I battled Bloodstro, and then after Bloodstro, I didn't battle again until 2012 properly. So yeah, I think I needed a break after Bloodstro because it's hard. When you battle all the time, it's hard to keep up the consistency because you finish one battle and you need a break. Yeah. You don't want to start writing again straight away for another battle that you've got in 2 weeks' time. Do you know what I mean? So I'd say that to any sort of aspiring battle rapper, to try not to take too much on, even though it's tempting because you're really enjoying it. I try and, maybe battle once every 2 months or something rather than every event possible. Do you know what I mean?
And you mentioned Blood in the Water before, and obviously it was a huge event, so they try and do as many uploads as they can. There was sort of like a freestyle tournament thing. You battled DK, you battled Sharon. Like, do you like this atmosphere, like being on beat, freestyling?
Oh yeah, I love it. Yeah, I mean, I've won like obviously tournaments and that, freestyle tournaments and things. So. Yeah, I think it sort of brings it back to the old. And, people don't really. I don't think people get how good at freestyling I am on beat. You know what I mean? I'm not the best a cappella freestyle battler, but if it's on beat, then I'll go up against anyone, because I came up rapping, just freestyling constantly. That's how I did it. I've made like one EP back in the day, and I made a few tracks, but generally it was just freestyling what I did all the time. So I love freestyle battling, and I can hold my own. I mean, obviously I got beat against Jerome, but who doesn't? You know what I mean? In that tournament at the time. But yeah, I love that. It brings it back to the essence of, you know, battling and hip hop basically. So yeah, I do like the on-beat tournaments, and we try and bring them back, but they always seem to flop because there's not enough good people to do them. So whenever you do them in an event, there'll be one person smashing it, and then the others will be a bit rubbish. Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, I do love that. Yeah.
And you battled Sayo, which is your next Don't Flop battle on To The Test 10, which is, you know, highly regarded as one of the greatest Don't Flop events ever. How was this as a whole thing?
Oh, To The Test 10 was just unreal. I mean, that was. I think I remember thinking, this is big now. That day, do you know what I mean? Because we stood there, we're backstage, we're on the stage, looking out at the crowd, and wardrobe. I mean, now if you think of it compared to sort of like Stylus and Ministry of Sound and that, it's nothing. But that in them days, it looked massive. I mean, you've got about 400 people there, and you're looking out into the crowd, and it looked huge. Do you know what I mean? I remember thinking, this is massive. This looks like madness. And then obviously the battle started, and they were all, you know, even the smaller battles were all pretty much fire. There was a lot of talking points and a lot of things going on. And yeah, I loved battling Sayo on that stage. I thought it was amazing. Again, another loss, but it was a close battle, that one. And again, it's one of those where I was happy because I got everything out perfect, and I had the crowd laughing and cheering and stuff. So I was happy with that. And yeah, just to be a part of that event was when you really thought, yo, this stuff's getting big now. And it was a good feeling. It was great to be around it at that time, because you could tell Kruger and all that they were getting gassed as well about how successful it was becoming and how big To The Test 10 was. And the whole vibes was just, you know, everyone was in a good mood. It was great.
It's just that I always love To The Test 10 videos because just the crowd is enormous. Like,
yeah, that's it. I mean, and they loved it so much as well back in them times. The crowds, they weren't all hung up on, you know, all the bullshit online drama and stuff. They just wanted to come and enjoy themselves, listen to bars, jokes, and just have a drink and just have a laugh and enjoy it. And yeah, I bet anyone who was there at that time will remember that fondly, definitely.
And the freeway battle. This was the April, well, not even late. I was going to say April Fools.
Yeah, that was when it was actually in April. Yeah.
And you versus Seuss versus Evil Eyes. Like, how did this concept come about?
I think it was just another obviously try to think of concepts for April Fools, because I think the year before was the first time they really did April Fools as like had concepts. They had Definition Mirror Match. They had and Tom Hines doing freestyle off the projection board. So they had a few concept battles the year before, and then obviously the next year they stepped it up. So they had Pamphlet versus Def and the Batman Joker. I think they had Big J and Thingy doing some accents or they had a few things anyway. And then obviously Freeway Battle came up, so I got asked to do that, and I was like, yeah, sweet, it's a new thing, buzzing, I'll do that. The problem with the Freeway Battle is, and this is why I get pissed off with people when they don't show up to battles, is I was so ill for that battle. I mean, I had flu. It wasn't even a cold, it was like flu.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? I was coughing, I was being sick, I felt like shit. But I still got my ass on a megabus and went down and battled. And that's when people don't show up to battles. I think that Freeway battle, I still showed up. And, do you know what I mean? So I don't really take excuses lightly when people no show, because I've been there and I've gone when I've felt like death, and I've still battled and I've still done reasonably well. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that was the only problem with the Freeway battle. I felt like shit, and you can even tell really if you watch it, you can see that my performance is a little bit a bit more chilled out than normal. I'm not quite as jovial and quite as loud and that as I normally would be. I'm a bit more like, you know, my voice is a bit more sort of restricted. But again, that was a great battle, and at least I did better than Seuss. Because Seuss was pretty bad that day.
He was, wasn't he? Yeah,
he was not on form either. I don't know what was wrong with him, but Evil Eyes was on top form.
Yeah,
he deservedly took it. He was very funny that day.
Evil Eyes, I think, is pretty underrated in Don't Flop. You know, he's a lot of good battles.
Yeah. He was one in the earlier era that was very consistent and funny and very good. Yeah, and then he even obviously in the freeway battle, and then he battled Pamphlet as well later on and beat Pamphlet. So yeah, Evil Eyes, very good battler, very funny. Very consistent. Yeah, good, another good lad as well. He's one of my good mates I met through Don't Flop in the early days. Yeah, Evil Eyes, very good lad. Yeah,
good puncher as well. Just quite a lot of memorable lines. Like.
Yeah, definitely good punchline. He's a good rapper, definitely. Yeah,
and obviously, you know, Don't Flop going from strength to strength in this era, as were you. And I think around this time was when you went to Outlook. Is that right?
Yeah, 2012. So it was like after Villain battled J90 and all that in that Hunger for More.
Yeah.
And then I think there wasn't really much going on after that, and then we went to Outlook. Yeah. So the first Outlook festival was me, Mickey, Big J, Lefty, Enigma, Kruger, Bagnall. I think Bagnall was there, and obviously, and then we met Matter out there. So there wasn't that many of us. It was a bit more. There was about 8 of us altogether, or 7 of us, and then Matt, he was with Joe Snow and that somewhere else. So about 7 of us went, and did a battle on the beach with Big J. Now, not many people know this, but I'd already done the battle with Big J.
Right.
In Sheffield at Tramlines Festival, me and Big J did the battle. But the footage for that event wasn't Bagnall or anyone. It was like someone in Sheffield because Bagnall couldn't come, and I don't think the footage. It was the same time Zen battled Impact. No, I don't know. Did that come out? I
don't think it did. No, I can't remember that. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, interesting. Okay.
So I battled Big J at that event that day, but the footage was shit. So just said, "Yo, you and Big J was a really funny battle. The crowd loved it. Why don't you just do it in Outlook?" So I was like, "Yeah, all right then, can do that." So I'd actually already battled. It was a bit like Bobby Rex and Dialect situation, you know, where they've already battled, but they did it again. So it was like that. So yeah, I'd actually battled Big J already. So we kind of had a little bit of we knew kind of what we were going to say in that, but I kind of forgot. So I didn't do any preempted flips or anything. It was pretty much just the same bars, apart from I changed a few of them to sort of suit Outlook, if you know what I mean.
Man said I was a Buddha. That means I'm at peace and enlightened. You're a beast. When you speak to women, they shriek because they're frightened. Yo, this guy Big J is a big gay. He likes all things dick-shaped and he dreams of being engaged to Ving Rhames. When he scrapes his tit because he likes how his tit tastes. He's a big waist, he's got a shit face, he's a disgrace. And no, ladies and gentlemen, he's not mixed race, he just stayed out of bath for 6 days.
And there's so many people there, like, you know, there's a big crowd, and then you can see in the distance people standing up and watching as well.
Yeah, it was weird because it was like word got around that Don't Flop were doing something on the beach at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and we got to 1 o'clock and there wasn't that many people there, so we sort of stood round, you know, me, Big J, and then stood sort of where we'd be hosting, and we sort of waited, and then all of a sudden there was just like a sea of people came charging towards us and that from all over the place, and the next thing you know, there was about fucking 100, 200 people all gathered round. So yeah, we were kind of thinking that people weren't going to be able to hear it and that, because we had no mics or anything. So it was like, just be as loud as you can in it. So yeah, we were like shouting, you know, to make sure people could hear. But yeah, it was funny. But there was people. There was 2 guys in the background who were off their head. And they were mental. Them guys. They'd obviously been on it for like 4 days or something, because they were off the faces, because they were talking to us afterwards and that. And they weren't making any sense. And they kind of ruined some of the battles as well. Just laughing at every bar with a jaw swinging half a mile everywhere.
Yeah, so, there's a lot of comments about them. About those, inevitably. But I mean, like, nonetheless, you know, you'd only been in Don't Flop for about a year or so, but it's taken you, you know, across the world. Yeah, that's what I mean. We'd been, got to go to Croatia, mate. That's another thing. Like, I've been to places where I would have never have been. I mean, well, I would never have gone to Outlook Me, really. I mean, I might have done maybe, but I wouldn't have never gone for free. Do you know what I mean? And performed there, and I'd like backstage passes and stuff like that. So yeah, Don't Flop really did sort of take me to places that I never would have gone, and gave me experiences that I never would have had. So like I say, I loved those times. They're some of the best times of my life. Those times back then. And Outlook was, the second time was even better, to be honest, but the first time was amazing as well. Yeah. And of course, this era towards the end of 2012 is 4th birthday. as we say. I mean, what were you off? Did you want a bigger battle? Because you've been battling a lot at this time, or were you happy with the 2-on-2?
To be honest, the way Uno, if you think right, Uno was actually quite big at the time. He battled Luna only the year before, so he was international as well. So really, I just saw, an international on the biggest battle stage. I mean, I didn't think, I would never have thought I deserved, a big one-on-one. I mean, I could have probably thought maybe I got a battle like, say, Pedro got Enigma. Maybe I could have got a battle of that similar ilk, earlier on in the event. Like I did for 5th birthday, obviously I got Mr. 13 for this first battle of the day. Maybe I could have got something like that, but I just thought me and Calcium Kid against Mickey and Uno sounds really funny. And I'd always wanted to team with Calcium as well, because me and him were really good mates. So I just thought, that'll be good, and I can enjoy the event without having to stress too much about having a really serious one-on-one battle. But I didn't prep at all for that 2-on-2, which I do regret, because Calcium only came to mind like the night before, and I had a few bars and he had some stuff, and we basically just threw it together. Do you know what I mean? And I wish we'd have just tried a lot harder, and maybe I'd have done better, because Calcium was really good, but I'm not happy with my contribution to that 2-on-2. Really, there's a few funny moments, but in general, I'm not. Now when I watch it, I cringe basically.
I don't think I watched it this morning. I don't think that's fair. Really. I think you are good in it. I think it's a funny battle.
And you can't win. And you, my mate, can't swim. I tried very hard, you know what I mean? In your second lesson, it would surprise me if you wore your armbands inside out. If you want to go to the beach when the tide's out, you better mind out or find out or start a beef just to write a fucking line about. Or hide inside your house and line your couch with live mimes ×5, then bounce.
Most exercise you ever did.
Kind of a lot of people are like, why is this on the demo channel? It's the second most watched battle actually on the demo channel. 133,000 views. So it's racked up a hell of a lot, considering the demo channel, it's got like 8,000 subscribers or something. It's got nothing. So it's like, that really shows it. And what the hell is that weird intro about of you like climbing out your car and doing a high jump onto a window? What
Yeah, that was my mate's business, isn't it? My mate had like a housing business. And he asked me to do a trailer in it. So that was, I quite like that trailer, because it makes me realise how much weight I've lost now.
Right.
Because I was a big fat boy at that time. I'm still a bit fat now. I'm still fat now, but I've lost a lot of weight since then. And that trailer, man. Yeah, that was like my acting debut, innit? Pole vaulting through the sky and then land in the window, man. Yeah, it was just my mate's business, man. He just said, "Will you do a trailer? Will you do an advert for me? I think you'd be really funny, and obviously you've got a bit of hype with your battling and stuff. Will you do it?" So I just did it. It took like a morning to film, and managed to blag Freddie to put it on the intro, which again, I'm annoyed it went on demo, because if you think about it, right, it got 133,000 on demo. If it had gone on main channel, all the battles from 4th birthday got about 400,000 really.
Oh yeah,
a lot of them did, and I think that could have broke 200, maybe 300 on the normal channel.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
No, for sure.
Because if it did that many on demo, then it would have done more on the main channel. So that was the first time I was pissed off with her. I said, look, whether or not you think it's trash, it's funny and it's going to get views. But he just wouldn't have it, man. He was like, nah, it's trash. It's going on demo. And I was like, all right, well, fair enough. So that was like the first time it pissed me off quite a lot, because obviously it's like we pay travel to go and do these battles. We don't want them going on demo. You know what I mean? If it choked and all that and not performed, fair enough. But to me and Calcium did an all right job. Whether or not Mickey and Uno was shit or whatever, I mean, even they had some funny moments. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I wasn't happy about that.
No, I agree. I think it's a little unfair, really. Yeah, because it would have racked up a lot of views. It would have been, it's Mickey, it's BOWSKI. It's big characters of the league in this battle. Like,
Calcium and Uno. You know what I mean? Uno got views in them days. So yeah, it's just a bit unfortunate that really. It's like my second most viewed battle. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it could have been my most viewed if it had gone on the normal one.
Yeah, odd choice. And House Trade is that website, by the way. That your friend was there. And yeah, it is a good battle. There's impressions in there. There's their little moment when like Double L's playing God with Mickey.
Yeah, that fell flat on its ass.
Yes.
That did it. That was literally even Mickey's like, that didn't pop at all, did it? That didn't pop. I was like, what the fuck are they doing, man? Double L got on the thing and pretended to be like a god version of me, but did it really?
Yeah,
really battle. Mickey did. I can't remember, man, but I remember standing on stage thinking, what are these Muppets doing? You know what I mean? That was pretty terrible, that bit.
And
Calcium stole the show, and he was like, I got guard dogs, I got the guard dogs, I got the guard dog. Calcium was just killing it.
Train hawks that train hawks, and just kind of his patented shit that just
Calcium stuff that really works.
Yeah, really does well. I mean, talking about 4th birthday in general though, so I'm guessing you saw like Arsenal shot and everything else.
Yeah, and I've said it many a time, and I'll say it now on Battle Rap Resume. That is the best battle I've ever seen live, and it's the best atmosphere I've ever been in a battle. It was electric, bro. Yeah. It was just electric. Like every bar shot he said was just like, whoa, you know. And then Arsenal came in and Arsenal just smashed it as well. I mean, it was just something to behold. And obviously, I can see why it's the most viewed battle in English talking battle or whatever. And because it was a special experience, that one, mate. I mean, Tony D. Oshea was unreal as well. I mean,
yeah, of course.
That was another one that was just incredible to be there live. And but Arsenal shot, it was just at the time, it was just another level. It was just another step up, like from everything else. Just felt like it was on a different plane, to be honest. And you can see why it's been such a successful battle over the years.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, it's just they captured lightning in a bottle, really, and to top off loads of great battles at that event as well, including yourself and Calcium versus Uno and Mickey. And 2-on-2's continued with yourself with the 2-on-2 tournament. You and Big Sarters. I mean, a kind of a left field matchup, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was just. I think what was going on at the time is was trying to blag me and Calcium to do it. To enter, you know what I mean? Obviously, because Calcium was pretty big at the time, and I was still doing all right. I think he wanted me and Calcium to enter, but Calcium just at the time just wasn't really on committing to do that many battles, because he's more of a do a battle once or twice a year kind of guy. He's not really a I want to battle all the time guy, Calcium. You know what I mean? So he didn't really want to commit, and then it was going to get to the point where I couldn't really do it, and then just sort of said, well. Or I think I might have said, what about that Big Sarters lad? He's pretty good, because he'd had a couple of battles and he'd done quite well. He was a bit of a chubby sort of mank lad.
Right.
So I thought, well, me, two fat type of mank lads, that could work kind of thing. So I just mentioned it to her, and he said, yeah, if you want, go on then. And then, so I mentioned it to Big Sarters, and then we sort of decided to be a team, and then we ended up being, I think, one of the best tag teams in Don't Flop at the time. Quite underrated. I think Marlowe and Shuffle made a joke in their battle against Dialect and Zen that you could have been BOWSKI and Big Sarters.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I think at the time we would have given them a battle. I'm not saying we would have beat them, obviously, because Marlowe and Shuffle T pretty unbeatable, but I think we had enough to give them a hell of a battle, because if you watched us versus Dialect and Zen, I mean, we won that convincingly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, that was one regret, that we never got a shot at Marlowe and Shuffle at that time when they were battling a lot, do you know what I mean? Because I would have loved to have had a go, you know what I mean?
Oh, that would have been great. Would have been so
good.
I
think it would have been entertaining, because me and Sarters could entertain as well, I mean, in a different way. So, I think it would have been a great battle. I mean, they might have beat us, I would have admitted defeat gracefully, but I would have just loved to have had that go, do you know what I mean? But I mean, the tournament was another good tournament again.
Yeah.
Everyone showed up pretty much. It was a shame Marlowe and Shuffle T couldn't be in it, because Shuffle teamed up with Gibbo, didn't he?
Yeah, weirdly, I don't know why.
Which didn't really work, obviously. But the tournament itself was great, full of surprises. Bit of an anticlimax, I think. Final, but it was just the way it went, really. I mean, the battles, everyone thought Dialect and Zen had beat us. We beat them. Everyone thought Unan and Chris Lees had beat Bam and Sistik, and they probably did, to be fair. But Bam and Sistik got the decision. So it was just one of those. It was a lot of surprises, but it was a good tournament. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, kicking off at Distinction, which was another great event, wasn't it? Distinction.
Yeah, it was exactly a year after to the Test 10, same venue, the Wardrobe, and again, great event. It had Definition Tony D title match. It had Oshea versus Uno, and Oshea bodied Uno, and he had all the apples and whatever he had, and the lights kept going out and that. and then it had all the tag team battles, and obviously it had the Oon and Chris Lee's "You got something to address, Callum," against Callum Boone, which obviously probably the most gassed reaction to a bar ever. When you watch it, it's like they don't even say anything that good, and everyone's fucking going mental on the stage. Locksmiths throwing beer over everyone, and that it was just mental. But that was the kind of vibes that were happening at the time, innit? Do you know what I mean? If something went off, it went off, and that went off that big time. It was hilarious.
You know what, Emmerdale? I am Curry. You ain't testing on nobody with that testosterone body. Then you can get a beretta to blow up on me, but you and Zen been wearing the leverage you're so gay. Trust me, you've never seen a whole pussy. So it's easy for me to see you're a cheap. I'm the type to go behind enemy lines for research. I get sneaky and creep. The type to not only fuck you, bitch, I'll be treating her sweet. I'll even greet her with tea. Massage the bitch, run a bath, get her feeling at ease till she screams for the D. But there's a reason behind it, bro, a real reason, you see. I take close attention while she's leaking your B. I take note of all the dirty little secrets he keeps. Then I expose this pussy all over Twitter like I was beefing with Bleach.
I mean, this is the greatest respect. Like, it is crazy that you beat Dialect and Zen, but you know they were just a bit complacent, weren't they? Whereas you took the opportunity. Yeah.
We basically went as hard as we possibly could. We said to each other, look, we might get beaten this battle, but we are going to go and give them a fucking battle, and we're going to try our best. And we had a plan. We had a game plan. Basically, the first 2 rounds, we were just going to go in as best we could, and then we were going to save the deal or no deal shit till the very last round. And the way it worked out is we went second. So after we dropped all the deal or no deal shit in the last round, Dialect had no chance to rebuttal any of it, and it just kind of put the icing on the victory, really. Yeah, so it was probably the worst round. I think the first 2 rounds were when we actually killed him, and then the deal or no deal shit just sort of, like you say, just put the icing on the cake. So we had a game plan basically. So I think that's a good idea in battles to sometimes have a plan. It's not just about bars and stuff. It's like sometimes game plan can work if you think, right, well, I'm going to do that, and then the third round I'm going to switch it and do this. And then sometimes that can really work in your favour. So that's another thing I'd say to battlers is not just think of your best bars, but maybe sometimes have a game plan as well. Yeah, no, for sure. And you do really well. Like, the energy's up. Like, it's quite an exciting, the way the crowd are all around you as well. And, you know, you go into that attacking mode and you just kind of, like, you win quite convincing. You clown them hard. And someone that gets a mention that maybe newer Don't Flop fans, even myself, I'm not too certain of, like, what, like, I know who he is, but I don't really know the full story. David Masters? Yeah, David Masters was like one of the original sort of internet nerdy battle rap forum type people. And what was the bar again?
I can't remember. He just gets like a quick mention.
I don't really know the full story on David Masters, but he was one of them people who sort of like stuck his nose in everything battle rap related, and he was a bit of a nerdy sort of guy. And I can't remember stories, but then in the end he said something about him doing something weird with some girls or something online. I don't know, mate. You know, I don't know the full ins and outs. I wasn't really one of them who got involved too much in the forums and that back in them days. So I can't quite remember what the full story on David Masters, but yeah, he was like an attention seeking internet whore kind of guy, basically.
Right.
That's all I can say about that, really. There's
a moment in the early in the battle as well where the camera cuts out, so you sort of see the crowd, and you just see you like delivering this bar, and it's an explosion really, where you're like, you want to be Taliban, give you an Afghanistan blast when I shag your nan's ass with a dick thicker than the glasses on Bamalam's dad.
Yeah. See what I mean? I was starting to get multis in that by then, you know what I mean? I was starting to get better, mate. So yeah, I had a few like that, man. I had a really racist bar for Dialect in that I'm not proud of either, where I said something like, he was supposed to be battling daylight, but we won't be able to see him at night. And something like that. No wonder he was battling daylight, we won't be able to see him at night. Yeah, I wasn't too proud of that one.
Yeah, and
but there was a lot. Dialect got a lot in that battle, and Zen got quite a bit as well, man.
Yeah, Asian Archaic, I think you say. And they have some good lines though, Dialect and Zen. I like when they go on against Big Sarters, dirtbag Daniel Bedingfield.
Yeah. No, they did give Big Sarters a bit of a doing over. Yeah. Dialects did a bit as well, but Dialect said something. What, you try to come in man's face? And he went, that was a bit geared up.
Yeah.
But again, it didn't really work well. I was like, what you on about, man?
Yeah.
No, that's not, you shouldn't really be saying that, man. I think they just took it too easy. They were a bit jokey and that. Dialect didn't really do any sort of hard rapping like he normally does. He didn't really do any grind bits or anything. They definitely slept on us, and they got
they paid the price. Yeah. What was
definitely.
how long till you found out who won?
I think it was a couple of weeks.
Wow.
They'd sort of give the judges the video once, before it was come out, and the judges were like, it was like 5-1 or something. I think Villain gave it to them for some reason, but I don't think Villain ever really rated me too much.
Right.
That's Villain. I like Villain, but he was one who got a bit of an ego as it went on. That's a few battlers. They start off really, really sort of humble and nice, and then they get a few 100,000 views, and the next thing they're just sort of like proper egotistical guys. And that happened a lot in battle rap, and especially further along when we started getting into 2014, I started noticing that sort of thing a lot more. But going back to the battle, we got the 5-1 decision on the judges, and great feeling. That was all. I felt better. I felt as good about that battle as I did about the Oshea battle. It was like the same sort of jubilant sort of feeling. Like, we did well that day, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you proved everyone wrong, really. I think, a lot of people thought it'd go one way, and you took the victory. And then you battled Bam and Sistik, who, I mean, not being harsh, Bam and Sistik are one of the most boring 2-on-2 pairs ever.
I know. I mean, they shouldn't have got through against Dunan and Chris Lees, in my opinion. I don't think, anyway. I mean, Dunan and Chris Lees weren't as good as they were in the first round, but I think they did enough. Do you know what I mean? From what I remember, anyway. But Bamalam was quite good in that. Obviously, Bamalam is good. Do you know what I mean? But Sistik just wasn't great, and I would have much rather battle Dunan and Chris Lees at Checkpoint. Imagine that. I mean, they're not asked because they got DNA and bloody Charlie Clips.
Yeah.
But if they'd have got through and we'd have got them in the semis, that would have been much more. And to be honest, Checkpoint, as much as I love Checkpoint the event, I hate that 2-on-2 battle with Bamalam and Sistik. I just hate it because my mic wasn't working properly, and cut us off before we could finish our rounds. And it was just annoying, to be honest. It was like was being such a dick that day. That's another time when I was like, pissed me off. He came up to me in Sarters and went, right, you're battling, boys. He's like, come on, don't piss me off. And I was like, what the fuck you on about? Don't piss you off. Like, we're here, we're ready to go. What are you on about, bro? You know what I mean? You're just coming over and starting on us for nothing. So straight away, I had a bad vibe about it. Do you know what I mean? It was like he couldn't be asked. He had all these, fair enough, right? He's got conceited, he's got Arsenal, DNA, blah, blah, blah. He's got all them people. So, he's a bit sort of like, and we need to get this 2-on-2 kind of out of the way kind of thing. But at the same time, let us enjoy it ourselves and let us have the battle and enjoy the moment. Do you know what I mean? We're at Ministry of Sound. We're on this card. Let us have our battle at least. You know what I mean? And he cut us off. My mic wasn't working, and also our material. I think we got a bit complacent after Dialect Zen. We were like, we're going to smash this now. Me and Sarters were like getting drunk going, when we win this tournament, we'll go world dominant and we'll like offer Il Macaphosaurus a battle. And we were getting gassed at it, you know what I mean? So, we were getting stoned and pissed and just sort of going on about what we were going to do afterwards, and that I knew we were going to battle and going to world dom and all this stuff. So, we definitely got overexcited about that tournament. And again, I think we didn't really, our stuff wasn't as good against Bamalam and Sistik, nowhere near as it was against Dialect and Zen. And although I still think as a team we probably should have won because Sistik was that boring and shit. Bamalam was good. He was probably the star player of the battle. But as a team, I still don't really rate them. And I think we would have give C Major and Cracker a more entertaining battle. In the final, but obviously wasn't to be. And that was the most disappointing I think I've been in general that day that we lost. And then I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy my battle at all, and was being a dick that whole day, man. So it wasn't the best Checkpoint. Although I must admit, being there for Kruger versus Conceited was amazing.
Great battle. Yeah, what a battle. The atmosphere was great. And you and Sarters like battled loads more after this, didn't you? You had loads of battles together.
Yeah, we carried on, mate. Yeah, we had a great battle against TC, Seasling and Gizmo in Brighton. I really enjoyed that day. Again, it was like on the beach in Brighton. It was boiling hot. Whenever I go to Brighton, it's always like going abroad. It's always like 30 degrees or some shit. It's like when you live in Manchester, you just don't get that weather and hardly ever. But you go down Brighton, it's always beautiful. So, and it was Gay Pride weekend that weekend as well. So Brighton on Gay Pride is just some mad party town. It's like everyone's out and everyone's just on drugs and drinking and just crazy. So it was a great weekend, that one, man. Yeah, and then we went. The next day was tryouts in London, so we went to London and watched tryouts in the park. So yeah, it was a great weekend, and yeah, that was another good battle, man. I reckon. I think I was the MVP in that one.
Right, I haven't actually seen that one, so I have to. I'll have to.
It's good and it's funny. It's funny. It's a funny one, man. Yeah, but yeah, and then we battled. I think we just battled one more time after that as a team.
Yeah, you had two more. You battled EMC and Ackers, and then you battled Pedro and Mickey.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, on the first KOTR. Yeah.
And we'll get to KOTR. So this is kind of when it sort of changes gears, doesn't it? Like, what was the beginning and the end for you with Don't Flop and sort of leaving?
Yeah, like I say, 2014, it started bringing in a lot of new characters to the scene, and I don't know, it sort of started changing, you know, and a lot of the new people really, I don't really want to name names because it's not really anyone in particular. It's like just collectively, if you can think back to who the new people were in 2014, I can name some of them, and some of these were all right. I'm just saying it was like Willsy, Soljitsu. It's like, well, not really Cracker. It's like Sleepy G. It's like Callum from the Forum. It's like just all this sort of people, yeah. And Soljitsu's he's a don, by the way. You know, I'm not nothing bad to say about him. I'm just trying to give you an idea of what era it was. Sure. And Danny Jack and people like this. These people are coming in and it's changing. Now, I've no problem with any of them people, but just started. He's always been a bit of a dick. Don't get me wrong, right? But he was my friend. You know what I mean? We went to Outlook several times. Went, Ireland. We've been places, and I saw him as a mate. But I also knew he's a bit of a dick sometimes. But I'll allow him. It's that's what he's like. But he fell out with Mickey and all that, didn't he? And then after that, he just seemed to be a bit more of a dick than normal. It's even more like I remember he was slagging Mickey off one day, and Mickey'd never really slagged her off to me. I'd seen Mickey, and he'd slagged her off publicly, but he wasn't really one of them to moan to me about her going, "Hey, it's a fucking dickhead, bro. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that." But her was going, "Oh, you don't want to be hanging around with Mickey, man. He's a fucking blah 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 and all this." Slagging Mickey off, going, "I don't know what Mickey's doing, but he's a fucking dick and all this." And then just generally just being a bit negative and a bit of a dick about things. And the thing is, right, if you think about it, 2013, I'd been getting better and better. I did well in the tournament. I battled Mr. 13, first battle of the 5th birthday, did well, you know what I mean, opened up the event really well. I won that Leeds Festival thing, got a fire in the booth and all that sort of stuff. Went to Outlook and did that, blah, blah, blah. So for 2013, I've been doing well, really. I've been getting better. I've been sort of like raising my stock. 2014, admittedly, I had a couple of subpar performances. Like I battled Old English and I tried being too lyrical and it just fell flat. But again, it was in London, and this is what I'm on about. It was with all the new people in a small room, and none of them really just like rated me, I don't think. So, and obviously everyone was bumming Old English. It was just that was a difficult battle, and I choked and stuff as well. And was just being a dick with me that night about choking and that. He was just being a real knob about it. So yeah, and then he sort of started being a dick with me, like because of a couple of bad performances. It just felt like he was being a bit of a dick. And then he was sort of gloating to me about the Manchester-London event, when Tony battled Oshea, Shotty. He's gloating to me going, "No, it's going to be sick, bro. We've got the Ritz. It's like 1,000 people and all that." And I was like, "Well, Manchester, am I not going to get like on that card? Like, you know what I mean?" He's like, "Nah, sorry, bro. You can't get on this one." And he was like, Sean O'Mac, who hadn't battled for like 2 years, who hadn't really done anything anyway, got on the card. And then Tally and what's his name? Tox, they got on the card and all that. Yeah. And I'm thinking, surely there's a BOWSKI versus Cracker or something that could go on the card, at the bottom of the card or whatever. I mean, I always perform amazing on big crowds. I should have been on that Manchester-London card, but I thought, all right, well, I'll let that one slide. But then he just wasn't really, like, offering me any other battles. So I battled Toucan in Newquay. I paid all my own money to go all the way down there, which is a lot to get down to Newquay. It was, 60 quid or whatever. Paid for a hotel. So we're looking at like 100 and odd quid basically to go and do this battle against Toucan. Again, it wasn't the best battle in the world. I mean, I tried. I mean, I won. I did as best as I could. But the crowd was very difficult and all that. And it was just a bit of a weird vibe. But anyway, I got the win and all that. And then he goes, "That it was shit, BOWSKI. It's going on demo and all that." So I just had a bit of an argument with him about that and about the fact that I've been paying I paid over 100 quid to go to that battle, blah blah blah. And he was just very rude, man, and just a dickhead and that. And just started saying, "What have you ever done for me, BOWSKI? What have you ever done for Don't Flop?" And I said, "Bro, I've been battling at every event for like 4 years. I've paid my way to all these events. Whether or not I'm like the biggest draw on the card, I've been at events where there's been like 300 people and there's only been 3 battles, and I've been one of the battles. Do you know what I mean? So you can say what you want, but I have definitely contributed to Don't Flop over the years.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Nah, you're delusional, bro. You've fucking all this and that." And I just had a big argument with him, big blowout, really. And things got said in that argument that couldn't really be sort of reversed, really, on both sides. And yeah, when I've fallen out with someone, I just fall out with them. And if I think they're a dick, which in the end I kind of thought was, then that's it. There's no going back, really, and there wasn't really any going back from it. I saw him one more time at the 6th birthday. I went, and yeah, he was just very rude to me, and he was just being a dickhead. So that was it, really. That was the end of that.
Jeez. And are you surprised, like, with all the stuff that's coming out at the moment about him, or?
No, not at all. I mean, the thing is, people were always aware of what was like. They always have been, but people were that scared to sort of question him because everybody loves battling and everybody wants to be involved. It's an amazing scene to be involved in, and you feel like $1 million whenever you battle and Don't Flop in front of a big crowd. So nobody really wants to say anything to her, and the people that do, everyone else sort of like take sides with her against them because nobody wants to cross her, because nobody wants to get kicked off Don't Flop. So I'm not surprised about it, and I knew it was only a matter of time before it would all blow up in her face, just by the way he acts. Basically, he's only got himself to blame, and I do feel a bit sorry for him because he has got a good side to him. You know what I mean? He has got a decent side to him. I was mates with him for a long time, and I liked him. You know what I mean? But he let his dark side take over too much, and just his dark side is a very dickhead side. So.
Wow.
Obviously, if Kruger's even fallen out,
that's
then
true.
It must be bad because Kruger was his best mate and they were boys. And Kruger's placid, chilled guy. It would take a lot for him to say, "Nah, that's enough." You know what I mean?
And so, King of the Ronalds, then, like, were you kind of involved in the sort of managing of it to begin with, or were you just battling, or?
No, I just battled at the first one basically. Mickey just asked me and Sarters to battle. I had nothing to do with it. I was still technically in Don't Flop when King of the Ronalds first started, for the first sort of 6 months really, and then I left Don't Flop around September, October 2014, and then I went to Norway with P Soldier, Briggsy, Raptor, and then Mickey was there as well. And we did a battle for that Tony Ray guy. Have you ever heard about this Tony Ray guy?
Is this the bread thing, or was that something else?
Yeah. It's the guy. He fed Briggsy and Raptor bread rolls. That was what he fed him. Yeah. Tony Ray, basically, he's an English guy who lives in Norway, and he wanted to do a battle event. So we went out to this small village in Norway and did an event out. There was a good laugh, like, to be fair, but Briggsy and Raptor, I think they got the worst side of it because they stayed with him and he had no food or whatever. Quite funny. But yeah, I got talking to Mickey out there and about, I'd left Don't Flop and all this, and just kind of, I was going to start my own league because I'd done a few events before when I battled Calcium and stuff at my birthday. So I was thinking of starting my own league, but then Mickey was just like, "Why don't you just join KOTR and we'll do like a KOTR North?" So I was like, "Yeah, go on then, mate." Because I'd always been really good mates with Mickey through all the Don't Flop days. Like, obviously, some people have got stories about Mickey, some people don't like him, but to me, he's always been straight up. Do you know what I mean? And he's always been one of my best mates at events and in Don't Flop. So when I saw him in Norway, he was just like, yeah, it makes sense. You know what I mean? To get involved. So yeah, got involved with KOTR late 2014.
And battling so much still, like, it's the crazy thing. Like, even more, it seems, with KOTR. Like,
that's it. Yeah, no. Basically, with KOTR, I've just been battling to fill cards and to put like a decent name on a card. My name still sort of looks all right on a card. You know what I mean? So that's why I battled. I mean, I've battled more than anyone on KOTR, which is ridiculous, to be fair.
Yeah.
Not anymore though, because I've only done 2 battles this year. 3 battles. There's 3 battles I've done this year, and one of them was just a festival one. So it's the least I've battled this year, and it's going to stay that way. I'm going to be only battling very, very rarely from now on.
But I mean, like 2015, like 10 battles in that year, like including one that I've not seen yet. I need to watch this. You versus Sprungy on Words of Weapons.
Oh yeah, on beat, yeah. Yeah, it's good. Sprungy's fucking on fire. He's actually sober and he's really good. Sprungy, yeah. It's really close. I mean, I don't know if I won or not. I think I won, but I could see why people would think Sprungy won because he had some good lines. I think I rapped a bit better than him, but he had some of the better lines. It's a good battle, and it's my most viewed battle of the last couple of years as well because it's got like over 10,000, which is not really happening on KOTR. So it's a good one, mate. It's worth a watch. Not very long either. It's only about 9 minutes.
All right.
It's basically just 3 hip hop beats. It's a hip hop one.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed that, man. Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing another on beat battle at some point.
Yeah.
I think we're going to start doing them on KOTR. We've done a couple. They're not out yet, but I think we might start incorporating a couple into KOTR.
And I mean, so KOTR is you, Hulk, and Mickey. Is that right? Sort of at the top.
I think we're the main 3 staff members, but we do have Blunt Ted and GWE as well, who are also staff now, who help with events. And GWE helps me with my events, and Blunt Ted helps put on the Midlands events. So yeah, we do have a few. Well, just them 2 basically, and then Pigman Dan is obviously Mickey's mate, who does a lot of the editing and stuff like that. So yeah, we've got a bit more of a team going now. We've got some big plans. It's just battle rap just seems difficult at the moment to get anything done. It's like a lot of people don't want to battle. A lot of big names don't really want to battle. So it's quite difficult to sort of get. We've got a big event planned for October. We've got one battle confirmed, which is a big battle, which people are going to be excited about. I better not say it because I don't know if he wants to announce anything yet. But that is one that people are definitely going to want to see. It's an international, I can say that much. So that should be good. And hopefully I want to get an event in Liverpool. I'm going to speak with Oshea about him helping. I want to do a really big event in Liverpool, like some big names and some good battles. So I'm working on that as well. So yeah, KOTR, man. I mean, hopefully when these next 2 events get sorted, people are going to be excited and, they're going to hopefully want to come and show support because I think we are moving on now. We've got new cameras and stuff. So, I hope that we do sort of step it up for the remainder of the year anyway, especially while Don't Flop's on this hiatus. It'd be nice to sort of take advantage and get a couple of good events going.
Yeah, for sure. And, KOTR have done big stuff, and still interesting subculture. But I love the fact that you all went over No Coast. What a crazy trip that was.
Yeah, mate. Best time of my life. Well, I say best time of my life. It's up there, top 5 times of my life. That it was just incredible, bro. I mean, we went over to Minneapolis, Minnesota. So again, why would I have ever gone there if not for battle rap? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Go to America, you go New York, LA, Florida, whatever. But Minneapolis, Minnesota. I mean, I've only know about that from Mighty Ducks and from Fargo, from a couple of films where I think Minneapolis was mentioned. Do you know what I mean? So I've gone there thinking it's going to be freezing. I think it's going to be snowing and all that. Got there and it was like fucking summertime, man. It's like the hottest November they've had in Minneapolis for like 40 years.
Right.
So it was all sunny, shiny, hot. I mean, you just needed like a cardigan. You just needed like a thin tracksuit top. You didn't need a jacket or anything. We get to this house and you've got Lush One, Real Deal, Reverse Live, and then you've got all the No Coast crew, Jay Walker and Tyler and all that.
Yeah.
Big Billy Harvey and all that. And it was just epic, bro. It was just so much fun. Do you know what I mean? We're just all sort of having a laugh, drinking, a lot of weed going around. There's like acid trips and stuff going around. I'm not saying drugs are good to kids, but they were going around, and it was just like an amazing time, bro. And then the event was really good as well. Real Deal, Reverse Live was amazing.
Yeah.
I think I had probably my best performance in a long time against Breakneck. I was just really consistent, and Lush One was definitely feeling the bars. Our champion at the time, Mackenzie, absolutely smashed it against Jay Walker. And then obviously the next day, we did an event in someone's basement. Like the day 2 was in a basement, someone's house, and it had Kinnell versus Billy Shakes, and that was just hilarious. And the vibes, again, that was the day when most of the mushrooms and the acid were getting passed around.
Right.
And it was just hilarious, bro. I mean, at one point, Mickey started laughing that much that he thought he was going to die. And he's on the phone going, BOWSKI, I can't breathe, BOWSKI, I can't breathe. Like, we were just laughing our heads off. It was just so funny, man. And it was just one of them trips that it was just everything about it was amazing. I love America. I love America, man. I've got to go back there. As soon as I've had this kidney transplant, then I'm going to go back there and
Yeah, no, for sure, man, for sure. And yeah, I always like seeing leagues come together and battle, and especially like KOTR and No Coast. They're kind of similar counterparts to a certain extent. It must have been crazy to have Lush like watching you battle, like.
Yeah, that was great, mate. Meeting Lush in general was just, when you meet Lush one, he's 100% exactly how you'd imagine him to be.
Oh,
he's
I bet,
He's just his stories and just the way he talks and that. He's just Lush one. Do you know what I mean? He's just like, you see him on the videos. That is what he's like. And then to have him hosting your battles and that, it did just give it that extra edge. It just made it feel a bit more big time than it was. Do you know what I mean? If he was just on No Coast and like Breakneck and his mate were hosting it, it'd still be great being in America, but you'd just be like, oh, well, it's No Coast. But with Lush being there and Real Deal and all that, it did give it an extra edge to, yes, I'm in America, I've made it kind of thing. Yeah, and then seeing Lush sort of reacting to your bars and enjoying the rounds was a good feeling. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. I mean, it's crazy. 72 battles on Verse Tracker. Maybe there's been more. Over 1 million views. You've got 1.2 million. Like, you must look back and just like, crazy what you've achieved.
Yeah, I'm definitely proud of it, man. Especially when a large consensus of true battle rap fans don't really, think rate me that highly. I mean, you see comments a lot of saying, BOWSKI's funny, but he's pretty shit, basically. Right. I get a lot of these comments and that over the years. But yeah, when I look back on it, I think, well, I've got over 1 million views. I've been to about 5 or 6 different countries. I've met loads of sound people, and yeah, it's weird. I lost like a long-term girlfriend over battling. I've been with her for like 7 years, nearly 7 years, and about a year after I started battling, we kind of broke up and stuff. So I was quite sad about that at the time. But when I look back, 2013 was definitely my favourite year, which was the year after I split up with her. And I just think, well, I wouldn't have missed that for staying with her, you know what I mean? So I'm glad that, I carried on battling and didn't sort of stop at the time. And when I look back on it all, I'm proud of it. And that's why I love it that much. That's why I don't really want to stop being a part of battle rap. So that's why we carry on with the KOTI, even though it's very hard work, do you know what I mean? And we don't get much love back from it anymore like we used to. But there's just something about it, and doing the events and seeing these battlers get better and get hyped and stuff. It's still there. There's still a bit of it left to carry on, do you know what I mean? And I'm not going to quit KOTR or battle rap, until it's dead completely. We're going to try and revive it or keep it going as long as possible, because it's a big part of our lives. Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
no, of course. I love to hear that. And the last thing I want to touch on, which is mad. I mean, not a lot of battle rappers can say this. You got a fire in the booth on Radio 1 Extra. How did this come about?
Yeah, it was Leeds Festival 2013, and Pamphlet messaged me and said, we're doing Leeds Festival freestyle tournament, battle rap. Do you want to be in it? Because someone dropped out. And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. Fuck it, yeah. So all I knew about it was I was getting Impact in the first round. That was all I knew. So I did write a few bars for Impact. And it was basically a cappella, quick battle tournament on stage, on the 1 Extra stage. And bro, there was like 3,000-4,000 people there. It's the biggest stage I've ever battled in front of. Do you know what I mean? It was massive. Eminem was playing later that night, so it was like, it was just fully gassed. Yeah. So I've gone there, I've battled Impact. I had a few lines about Charlie Sloth and all that. So I got the crowd on my side. I beat Impact, and then I got Innuendo in the next round. And to be fair, Innuendo was good at freestyling, and it was really close. You could even say that he had a couple of better lines, but by this time the crowd were just on my side, innit? I just had 3,000 people just rooting for me, basically. And so I got past Innuendo, and then I had this random kid from the crowd and who got through to the final because he beat Pamphlet somehow. I don't know how. Right. The crowd didn't really like Pamphlet that day. I don't know why. He didn't really come off that great that day. It wasn't his best day at the offices, really. So this random kid got to the final, and I managed to beat him in it. So I won, and it was, mate, that was the best day of my life, that, bro.
Crazy.
Winning a tournament in front of 3,000 people on Radio 1 Extra. And then I had this big trophy, and I was walking around Leeds Festival. People are just pouring liquor into it, and I'm just drinking liquor out of my trophy and that. And then finished it up by watching Eminem, which I'd never seen. I'd never seen Eminem before. So finished up the night watching Eminem and that, and it was just one of them days. Best day of my life. But then anyway, after that, I had to go to Radio 1 and battle the guy who won the Reading Festival, which should have been
Right.
Dots really, but the crowd that day gave it to this gimp because he was funny or whatever. This guy, I can't remember his name now. He had some stupid name anyway.
Okay.
So anyway, I battled live on Radio 1. Or it might have been one extra, I can't remember, in the studio, innit? Yeah, battled live. Well, it might have been delayed a bit because so they could cut the swearing out if there was any swearing. So yeah, I battled this guy, and it was like he only got a week to prep, so I didn't prep very many bars. I had a few, but I managed to beat him because he wasn't really a rapper, do you know what I mean? But I'm lucky I didn't get Dots because I think Dots would have done me, especially with the freestyle element, because Dots is sick at freestyling. But luckily, anyway, it was this random guy. So yeah, so I beat him, and I got the fire in the booth. Now, fire in the booth, I mean, I'm proud of it in a way, but I'm also a bit unhappy with it because I just rushed it a bit too much. I left it too late, and then I had like 5 days to write it, and I wanted to write something new because I didn't really want to go with any of my old bars. So I do cringe a little bit at my fire in the booth just because it could have been better. And what I should have done, I mean, I choose 2 of my friends' beats, which were good beats, but I should have just used commercial beats and just gone for a bit more what people know and stuff. And I could have maybe flowed a little bit better on some of the beats as well. But I'm happy with it though, especially the first song in it. I think sick, to be honest. And you know, it's just one of them. I did the best I could at the time. But nobody apart from Shotty, Luna, and Blizzard, I don't think anybody else has got fire in the booth in battle rap. So it's something that I can be proud of, and I do get love for it as well. Some people do message me and go, "Oh, your fire in the booth was sick, bro." But it does get brought up a lot in battles for being shit. But I suppose people are always going to try and bring up stuff, aren't they? I mean, and exaggerate. I mean, it's not the best fire in the booth, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot worse ones out there. So yeah, I'm still proud of that, mate. 2013 in general, I'm very proud of my accomplishments that year.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah,
that was a good year for me in battle rap.
So we'll wrap up with a few quick fire questions. The first one, your favourite Don't Flop battle?
It's there's three that I love. Okay, I'll just go through them quickly because I don't want to just say Arsenal Shotty because I've already touched on that, but that is probably my favourite. Oshea versus Dirtbag Dan was my favourite, and also Oshea versus Flex Digits. just for Oshea, those 2 battles are just they are 2 that made me fall in love with Don't Flop and become a big Oshea fan. And quick mention for outside Don't Flop. Funnily enough, versus DNA is one of my favourite battles as well.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask favourite King of the Dot battle, so I'm guessing that one would be your favourite.
Yeah, it's that one, and it's also DNA versus Disaster.
Oh, come on, yeah, those are so good.
And Pat Stay versus Marv 1.
Yeah, yeah.
Just for Pat Stay.
Oh my god, yeah. URL, any URL battles you love?
Quite cliche, but I do love a bit of Lux versus Calico.
Of course.
But I also love Hitman's rounds against John the Don.
Oh yeah. He was on fire then. Yeah, he was different.
Yeah, level. I love that. I'm already showing him how to control the room and all. Oh man, there's just something about his performance that. I mean, even though that don't make sense, that reload with the bullets that came out.
Yeah,
it don't make sense, but it's just something about it.
It's hard.
I love that.
Yeah. King of the Ronalds.
Obviously, Tone Dialect.
Yeah.
But then I think also, what battle was it that was on about the other day? Fozzie versus Jack.
Naturally.
Your face. I'm happy with the views on that one, but apart from that,
Oh man, yeah. So final 2 questions. I know you mentioned a lot of movies in your battles. So what is your favourite film?
Oh man, cliche, but there's a couple. It's Pulp Fiction,
of course.
Usual Suspects, Shawshank Redemption, and my guilty one is Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Beverly Hills Cop 2. Okay, good.
Trust me, it's class. It's quality. I love that.
And finally, your favourite musical artist or band that aren't hip hop related?
Oh right, okay, that's a good one. I quite like Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Okay.
Early stuff.
Yeah.
I liked Amy Winehouse as well.
Amy Winehouse, yeah. Good choice. Yeah.
She was good. Definitely.
She was.
When I was a kid, I loved Aerosmith.
Aerosmith, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I liked a bit more rock and roll stuff. Just before I got into hip hop, when I was about like 9, 10, 11, I was a bit of a rocker, and I liked Aerosmith and Queen. Man. Queen.
Oh yeah, Queen are amazing. But BOWSKI, it's been great, man. I guess finally, how do people get at you? Social media, that sort of stuff.
Twitter is at BOWSKI1, but I'm not really on Twitter too much. If you do want me for anything, it's Matthew BOWSKI Sharp on Facebook. I'm pretty much just a Facebook animal, really. I'm not really Instagramming and Twittering too much, but you can get me on Twitter at BOWSKI1. But Matthew BOWSKI Sharp on the Facebook's the main thing I use, and also on the KOTR Back Your Talk group,
of course, and
KOTR Facebook page, and just join the groups and look out for KOTR because at the moment Battle Rap's in a strange situation, but King of the Ronalds is here, and we are going to step our game up and try and bring some great events in the next couple of months. So keep your eyes peeled for that.
All right, dope. BOWSKI, thank you so much, man.
Tom, pleasure. Love Battle Rap Resume. Keep doing your thing, bro. I've been listening to the show since you started, and thanks for finally getting me on there. Man. It took a while. Took a little while, mate. I was getting a bit worried then.
It's been a little,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pleasure, mate. Thank you very much.
No, I think we definitely need to get you, Hulk, and Mickey on for an episode where we'll just proper get into KOTR history. I think that'd be really good. Yeah,
definitely, and me, Hulk, and Mickey together would be especially Mickey's always good for anything like this.
Oh,
he can talk for America. That guy, he's always got some opinion and some story. So definitely we should do that one time. It'll be sick.